These days, it's harder than ever to be an NBA fan. Coming up with the newest interpretation or the most absurd point of view seems to be the trendy thing to do in order to garner a little traction on social media. This frequently happens at the expense of some of the best players in gaming history. Anyone that loves the full history of the league, like me, seems to have no place in the NBA community today. It's common to dismiss historical figures like players and legends as insignificant simply because of their era. Although the game has changed and the players are now more athletic, this does not give us the right to disregard the earlier players. Let us have a look at the 10 most disrespected players in NBA history. Before starting, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates. So let's start. Number 10. Bob Cousy. Thanks to a dispute between Chris "Mad Dog" Russo and former NBA player J.J. Redick on ESPN, Bob Cousy's name has been the subject of considerable controversy. Redick asserted that his competition was little more than plumbers and firemen, while Russo argued that Cousy was one of the best point guards in history. Every time Cousy has been mentioned, claims that he cannot shoot or handle the ball with his offhand have come up. The most common interpretation of Redick's statements after they went viral was that if he were to be magically transported to Cousy's time, he would be regarded as the greatest player of all time. Number 9. Clyde Drexler. Many believe that Clyde Drexler's 1995 championship victory was made possible by the fact that his long-standing nemesis, Michael Jordan, was no longer playing basketball and instead playing baseball. Before that season, Jordan's Bulls and Clyde's Trailblazers were insurmountable foes for both teams. Drexler led Portland to 2 NBA Finals appearances during his 12 seasons there and was selected to the All-Star game 10 times. Drexler was one of the finest players in the league even though they lost both finals, yet he is never treated as such. Number 8. John Stockton. Overrated is one of my least favorite adjectives to use when describing players. I constantly hear people refer to John Stockton in this exact way. We frequently hear that he wasn't able to score enough. The pick and roll with Karl Malone is the sole reason he is as good as he is. He was never able to lead his squad to victory in a title. John Stockton was a true point guard in the purest sense. He didn't have to win to succeed. Imagine being ranked among the top 5 point guards of all time while also being the all-time leader in assists and steals. It's ridiculous. Number 7. Carmelo Anthony. One of the most well-known users of sophisticated analytics. Since its beginnings as Carmelo Anthony, Carmelo established himself as one of the NBA's top scorers shortly after entering the league in 2003. He challenged LeBron James for the Rookie of the Year award, and many people believe he should have taken home the prize. The reality remains that every year that Carmelo Anthony played for the Denver Nuggets, they were a playoff club. Number 6. Moses Malone. When was the last time Moses Malone was mentioned when talking about the greatest centers to ever play the game? Exactly. Malone was a 3-time MVP, a Finals MVP, and a player whose career averages were over 20.0 PPG and 12.0 RPG. It is really perplexing that we never hear him ranked among the greats. He deserves a lot more recognition from the NBA family for being one of the first players to enter the league straight out of high school and start dominating. Number 5. James Harden. James Harden was arguably the best offensive player we have ever seen when he was at his best. He is now viewed as a non-impact player and washed up after a few bad years. Simply put, that sentiment is incorrect. But you never hear how he is still a valuable player who contributes to winning games. You hear the jokes about his weight or the inquiries about his desire to play. Although sometimes the claims that he is a flopper or only looks for throws are valid, this is not the only aspect of his game. Number 4. Russell Westbrook. Some claim that Russ is one of the top 5 point guards of all time. Some have allowed their career to be defined by a single disappointing Los Angeles season. Even in the winter, the amount of vitriol and hatred directed towards Westbrook on a daily basis is astounding. He averaged a triple-double and guided the Wizards to the playoffs just a year ago, but now he is the villain because he struggled to adapt to his 4th system in 4 years while playing with LeBron. For the sake of his children, the guy pleaded with everyone to cease disparaging his last name. And he received harsh criticism as a result. Number 3. Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan is one of those players that makes your blood boil because his game doesn't look like he should be as good as he was. Regardless of how good you thought he was actually better than that. You may get cooked on both ends of the floor even though he may have appeared slow or uninteresting. He became the finest power forward to ever play the position and one of the best winners in NBA history. With his simple moves that no one could manage to stop. Number 2. LeBron James. Sincerely, I have never seen a player as great as LeBron James receive the level of hostility that he does. We still find a way to disparage and trash on his 20-year career despite the fact that he has the court IQ of Einstein, handles like a point guard, and is one of the greatest floor raisers ever. Once more, it may be due to the fact that so many of us are mired in the past and find it impossible to imagine someone challenging the reputation of our beloved player as the greatest to have ever played. In either case, it must come to an end. The claim that LeBron's road to titles was simple doesn't sit well with me as a criticism of his career. However, LeBron-led teams have won the title over a 73-win Warriors team that was thought to be unbreakable, as well as 20-50-win teams in the playoffs. Number 1. Kobe Bryant. Even more upsetting to me than the fact that any of the players I've mentioned are even included on this list is how many people disrespect the late Kobe Bryant. When I was younger, I was in awe of Kobe Bryant, and today, I hear too many people treat him like an average player when he was anything but. The most insulting and hurtful thing I've heard about Kobe is that Shaquille O'Neal carried him to his first 3 championships. Imagine producing the kind of numbers Kobe did just to have people claim you were carried 2 decades later. Nobody ever brings up the fact that Kobe led the Lakers to back-to-back championships in 2009 and 2010 after Shaq left. In 2010, he guided them to a 7-game series win over the Celtics super team, which included Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett. Kobe was the team's scoring, assist, and steal leader throughout those entire postseason runs. And yet they accuse him of being self-centered? This is it for today's video. What do you think of our video? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates. Thanks for watching.